I did want to dig into a couple of the questions that I thought, you mentioned you wanted to reteach, and just see like what is that reteaching going to look like with the end goal of like every day students are doing this thing better. So one of the questions that you mentioned was number 11. So you turn to number 11 there. Your diagnosis was that students need practice, 1, parsing out multi-step word problems, and then 2, practicing with fluency, adding, subtracting fractions, and mixed numbers. And you said that's more of a teacher habit. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Like I'm not providing them opportunities to. Any new skill we have, I've been guilty with Georgia Tech. It's because of their low level of fluency, of sort of excluding problems that both hit on the aim for the day and cause them to practice fluency with fractions, decimals, and mixed numbers.
Okay, so you said like you're not, the teacher habit you're trying to address here is not giving them enough at-bats with like different types of numbers or different representations of numbers. So you have a few times and places in class when you could do that. You mentioned core instruction related to the aim. So that could also happen in quick questions, right? Could also happen in your like 5-minute mental math. It could happen in problem solving. So there are some columns here for, if you go to the left, there's the aim, and this is like instruction related to the aim. Hook or relevance is something you may or may not want to fill in. Here we have the mini lesson if you want to reteach something during that time. And then we have skills to make sure you hit on the do now, things to make sure you put into the word problems, things to make sure you do that. So what I think would be helpful to do is to just like take what's here and plug it in to the Ames calendar, right? Like which days do you want to make sure to include fractions and mixed numbers, and which days do you want to make sure you're including decimals? Again, so that 4 weeks from now you're not sitting around trying to figure out how many times have we hit decimals versus word problems. It'll just be right there for you. So let's take a minute to just plug those into some of the actual aims, taking maybe a week's worth of aims.
So skills to hit on the do now?
Yeah.
So on the sort of template that what I sent you, there's a couple of things that
Yeah, do you want to just read a couple of those to you?
Yes.
Sure, so you had negative fractions or decimals, how they're placed like a mirror on the number line. That was a skill we scored at 85% on, so like the vast majority because you're doing well, but it definitely did well.
But there was such a large disconnect between like almost 100% and UConn got that, if I remember right, and that's a much smaller portion on
So this is
Georgia Tech, which is why I wanted to throw it into the quick question, because I could like target kids.
Yeah.
So I
think that's smart. Like figuring out when are the times in class where you can actually target kids. So mental math you may not be able to target as much, so that would be a more general skill. That was problem 11, you said? No.
That one.
Yeah, that was number 5. Yeah, so number 5, there were, it was 63% of Georgia Tech and close to 100% of UConn. So do you want to know the actual kids who you're going to target?
Sure.
All right. It is Gilberto.
So Gilberto, Talia, Tanaja.
Ion. Talia's out. Tanaja's out. Kendall. Striasia. And Caleb E. Is that 4?
Yeah.
Okay. So those are the 4 kids you're going to just make sure to loop in right there. All right. Let's do one more. So the next, and then I'm going to leave you with this and everything that's here you can plug in on your own. Number 9, scientific notation. Your notes say make sure students are not counting zeros. So the students who you want to target on that are Bianca, Tanaja, Talia, and Gilberto.
So I guess,
So maybe not.
yeah.
Right. That may be in the future, if you're thinking about like instructional response, when you look at this, you may want to just filter out
I
students.
thought
who are not
I
gonna-
had done that, but
Well, you might have, but I didn't. So we'll actually do one more. The number 10 also says scientific notation. Let me take a look at that one just to see if we're seeing it.
I didn't actually, I put one of these on the last two days, negative scientific notation, and like walking through, like the class was at like 91, Kendall struggled, but fixed it.
Okay. Bianca got it? She missed both of these questions.
She wasn't here the 2 days, so.
Okay. Yeah, it's great to hear that you are looking for evidence to refute that everybody gets it, though. That's nice. So just to make sure that you're solid on this skill. So like number 13, you said quick questions. So what are you going to do like to get this there in the most effective way?
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, because I identified what I thought was a mistake, is kids just aren't familiar with like what fractions actually mean. So on the quick question, it would be, no, sorry, that's wrong. Have one like simple word problem, one operational word problem, but it's like the contra to it. So this one says like how many license plates are not from Illinois, and like the information it gives you is for the information that is from Illinois.
Yeah.
And so I've been putting in one single operation word problem with the contra to it.
Okay.
Everything.
So we call that like single operation word problem with contra. Or yeah, here is X, what is not X, basically. So then what would you do to determine which kids you need to target there?
Well, look at the data for.
Right. Just so that I'm comfortable that you know how to do that, could you just show me how you do that for number 13?
Yeah, do you want me to pull it up on Athena or?
It's up to you. How are you actually going to do it when you put these in?
Question by student, and then I would go to question.
So let's do that.
10, and then, alright, not that, 10, 13. I'm not at the elementary school or
No,
kindergarten teacher.
Just to get a little bit meta, like I'm confident that you know how to do this, but I'm actually looking for evidence to show me that you don't. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
pretty sure you know how to do it, but I'm looking to see if there's actually something that I can jump in and help with.
Well, it's something we're working on, so I appreciate
No, we're aligned. We're aligned.
And then there was another question that did the same thing. So 13, I look here, the students I would want to target are, their filters are here. Bianca, Tashmati, Jordy, Alex, Yaya, and Errol. And then there's one in context, but I think everybody got that right. It's, no, in the text it is. That's good. Number 38 is the same thing. A lot of students actually did this exact thing. He got it correct. He was able to tell, but not. But a lot of students were not able to do it. Yeah, Georgia Tech only 2 students got that question correct. So, looking pretty much getting around to everybody except Tiana and Errol, probably parsing it down. So I target 2 or 3 kids each day, like starting with the kids who missed 13 and 38, and sort of winnowing it down. So, yeah.